done that repeatedly now for the last few sessions. I really don't like doing it. But uh, that means that I also don't want to spend potentially an hour of combat with Anthony waiting for an opportunity to come back in. So we're going to do what we have done before, I guess. Just suspend our disbelief a little bit.
What the?
And
Why is there a giant Lucca on the homepage?
a giant Lucca on the
Is
homepage?
there?
I don't see one.
Oh, then maybe it's just me. I'm gonna refresh. Like his portrait is just plastered all over the homepage. Not even the token.
Oh yeah, no, it's just that you see the world like the character sees it. So
Lucca vision.
yeah. No, all right. So I think what we're gonna do is Luca, you have missed or Anthony, Luca has missed a few trips at this point into the vaults. And I think this time around or this morning, you tried to catch up with the group, but couldn't quite. However, it was easy enough to follow them down back into the level that you had been exploring with them before, and that room with the light trap that you had deactivated. And as you're like carefully trying to trail them, because you're pretty sure they're not too far ahead of you, but you also don't want to overextend yourself. All of a sudden, Soma comes like running down a hallway, eyes wide, just freaked out. And she's running towards you and she's trying to push past. And that's where we're going to jump back in. And then we'll figure things out from there, I guess. So I'll activate the scene. It should come on for you in a moment. I do have to bring in Luca
Oh,
as a character.
what the heck is this?
What?
You missed out on so many things.
Yes.
Oh yeah, you haven't seen the new initiative thing, huh?
Oh,
Oh,
the carousel? Yeah, isn't that awesome?
that's pretty. Is that a add-on?
Yeah, it's a combat carousel
I
module.
love it.
Yeah. Very much inspired by the video games, I guess. All right, let me get the music going, or the background. And we'll bring Luca in maybe here. Yeah, you're starting to like feel your way around the corner of that room where the light trap used to be, which is still deactivated. So apparently you did a good job. And you hear the footsteps and the frantic breathing and maybe like some mumbling as the panicked Soma comes just hightailing it down that hallway. And I will need to go to the top of the initiative here. Where are we? Okay. So you probably also hear sounds of combat. You might catch some glimpses of light of like it looks like flames as the light is flickering. And we'll see what happens here. Okay, so let me get back into the groove. This is what we've already done. And okay, done all this. Sorry, I'm still. Okay. So the creature you're currently battling is wait. Oh no, I accidentally got Ottardo out of the initiative. Where were you? Yeah, I guess that's fine. Okay, so it targets Ottardo and then throws a flaming hammer once and then a second time, missing both times, and then it uses a move action to fly over here kind of at the same elevation. All right, Soma.
Well, I suppose at this point, Soma will stop be fleeing, right? And
Yes.
Mhm.
And you'll
So
probably spot Lucca there at the
yeah,
end of.
so she briefly stops, catches her breath, steals her will, then focuses her eyes on Lucca, saying, "Oh my God, Lucca! You, so, so you're just in time. Follow. There's no time to explain. Follow me." And she will dash right back.
Lucas like scratching his skull. He's like, "Was she come running all the way down here just to get me? Would she have run all the way back to Otari to fetch me?"
Well, probably. Uh, okay, so and I think we'll have to make a bit of improvisation because I will use Inspire Courage with my vocal performance of Soma yelling, "Guys, Lucca is here! We're saved!"
Possibly the first time anyone has ever said that.
Yes. And that's my turn to move actions and the casting.
Okay, Ottardo.
I guess that deactivates the previous Inspire Defense.
Oh, was it?
I think
Alright.
it was lingering because
It-
it still had one turn ongoing, but that's fine.
Yeah, okay, let's do this. I
Uh,
mean, it's
Um,
it will be better to just kick this guy up right away.
Ottardo still doesn't have a way to reach him, so he'll do the same thing. He'll raise his shield and he'll spend 2 actions to ready a strike if the creature gets close enough.
Okay. That's your turn.
Yep.
Lucca.
Lucca will cue his high-speed skeleton sprinting and I guess run down multiple corridors here.
Mm-hmm. And you have to step over a bunch of dead Morlock abominations. Their metal limbs just kind of like smashed to pieces. And as you like shuffle down the hallway in the draft, or the gust of wind that you're drafting, there's a pile of ash that gets like puffs up that you're also passing.
Yeah, Lucca sprints right past large corridors with all sorts of crazy shit in it. He's like, "What the?" Looking
Yeah.
back and forth.
Yes.
Continue. Okay, 3 actions. Just running. That's his turn.
Okay, here we go. You're hustling down there. Augrael.
Yeah, I think Augrael's in the same boat as Ottardo, so Augrael's just going to shield and then ready in action if this creature comes in range.
Okay.
What are they even fussed about? I don't even see anything. It seems you've dealt with all of the threats around here.
And then you hear a voice echo from that room, Lucca, that you're starting to be able to tell is some kind of forge, but the forge itself is styled like a giant mouth that is yawning open, and it's filled with jagged teeth like those of a great beast. And there's a blazing fire going on in there, and then the smoke from that fire kind of curls out through holes that look like nostrils of that beast. And you see like a big anvil and various pieces of metal, tools, weapons, all sorts of stuff. So it's probably been actively worked very recently or currently. You don't see the creature yet, but you hear that voice echo out there from that chamber in front of you. And it's speaking diabolic, which nobody else speaks. So we're all really glad to have Lucca back because there were a couple of awkward encounters. And yeah, you hear like those telltale guttural sounds, and it says something to the effect of, "While I don't mind getting rid of that pesky, sorry, what's her name? Of that pesky Asvalvigander, you will not interrupt the work." And he tosses another hammer, this time at Augrael, missing once. Oh, the second one hits you
Yep.
in the face. 17 points of damage. And then he once again flies across the room, and Lucca, you catch like a glimpse of a winged creature with a weapon engulfed in flame. It looked like a giant hammer of some kind. Black feathered wings as it rushes past. And it's Soma's turn.
Someone was just about to explain Lucca this exact thing. So like, there is a black-winged angel-looking guy with a flaming hammer, really bad, and then she immediately rushes back in. I kind of want to say that she casts a spell before she rushes in to hold the charge and touch Ottardo right away, but well, we can abbreviate this as fluff. She rushes in. And as she rushes in, she slaps Ottardo with a spell, which would be basically go get him. No, not this one.
Low.
What?
That's not a good one.
This one.
There we go.
Yes.
Equal to its speed or 20 feet, whichever is greater. Okay. All right. Ottardo.
Okay, it's his turn. Yeah. Well, Ottardo is going to. Yeah, I guess he'll do that. He'll take his defensive advance action, which should be enough for him to move 10 feet across and 5 feet up. 20 feet of movement should be enough for that.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So let me put elevation. Is this elevation? Yep. Which means he gets to strike the creature at the end of the movement. Or attempt to strike.
Oh, here we go. That's a hit. 18 points of damage. Yep.
Nice.
Slam it.
And he will follow up with a second attempt to strike and miss.
Which it manages to avoid. Lucca.
Yeah. Lucca's like, are you sure that we have to fight this guy? He seems really cool, and he just seems very involved in his own work.
He's not cool. He's cheating. He's flying.
Yeah, and I guess now you see it for the first time in its full form. You know, this like raven-winged creature, fiery eyes. And you probably might recognize
He
it.
does look pretty badass, though.
Do I need to make a roll, or like, do I personally recognize this guy? Or
Not personally that individual. You would have to recall some knowledge to identify.
Not all demons know each other, Anthony.
I'll have you know, he's not a demon. He's a fiend. Devil, I mean, big distinction. Yeah, I'll recall knowledge.
All right.
I'm just gonna roll. I'm gonna assume that my knowledge devils is the best thing, but I'll
Okay. Go for it.
Yeah, do I have? I mean, I guess I have a slightly higher modifier in religion, but I feel like since the lore is more focused, it might be an easier DC. So I'm just gonna roll this. I guess I need to make it secret. Hang on.
Okay. Yeah, you do recognize this thing, and yeah, it is a kind of devil. It's actually a devil and a fiend. Um, and it
Well, yes.
yeah, it can be both. And it is known as an Irenaeus, also sometimes called a fury. Often they're female, but in this case, or in appearance, in this case, it is more of a male appearance. They are, they might appear like a fallen angel, and they are said that their origins actually come from from that story. Like the first Furies, the first Irenaeus may have been fallen angels, but now they can originate in all sorts of ways, sometimes promoted from lesser devils and others shaped from lemurs, forged from the souls of torturers and persecutors. It's all a little murky at this point. But yeah, they are known to exact vengeance and bloody justice for creatures' crimes, torturing and punishing their victims, often in an ironic fashion before allowing them the escape of death. You can ask me, let's see, 1, 2, 3 questions about its stats.
Okay, well, first I'll ask you, with Lucca's own personal history,
Mm.
does the presence of this guy down here mean anything particular to him?
It certainly like strikes a chord with you, I think. It doesn't yeah, I guess it just makes you realize that you're there's some I don't know how to say it. Like you feel like this is not a coincidence that you're down here right now with a creature like that.
Yeah, this feels like the first time. I mean, we've run into the little Beelzebub things and stuff, but this feels like the first time Lucca's like
Yeah.
starting to be like, oh, this makes sense with why I'm here.
Yeah.
In some capacity. Okay, so he's gonna 3 questions. Well, I've missed multiple rounds of combat, so I don't know what he's capable of besides flying. Um, is he capable of any kind of spell casting? I'll start with that. Or magical effects.
Yes, they're known to have some magic spells. They can spread fear at will. They can also exact their divine wrath onto creatures, among other things. And in particular, they have the ability to reflect any pain inflicted on them upon their attacker.
Like, just in general, or like, is that like a melee type ability, or do I not know?
It's a spell.
It's a spell, okay.
Yeah.
And if this has to be another question, that's fine. But can I tell if he's currently under any of those magical effects?
None of those are ongoing. They're all instantaneous.
Okay. Oh, they're all instantaneous. Okay. In that case, I'm assuming. I guess I'll just ask about resistances, even though I feel like it's going to be the normal stuff.
Well, they're resistant to physical damage except silver, and they're highly resistant to poison.
Okay. Highly resistant to poison. Okay. Physical damage, not like fire.
I bet it's immune to fire.
Well, you want to know about fire? Is that your third action?
Is immunity separate from resistance?
I guess, yeah, no, I actually just
Question
didn't see
is-
immunities separate there. I guess that's fine to do as one. Yeah, they're immune to fire.
Okay. And I guess, uh, resistance, weaknesses. I guess I don't think there's gonna be any, but
Holy 5.
yeah. Okay. Yeah. Right. Holy. Besides that.
Yeah. All right.
All right. I guess Lucca will torn between. He's like, I guess he's gonna use his third action to question this guy. I don't know if he's gonna respond, but he's gonna be like, "Hey, what are you doing here? And are these people bothering you?"
Okay. Oh, okay.
Are these people bothering?
Are these people bothering you? Yeah.
Well, he's going on about his work, so he's like, what sort of work are you doing? What are you doing here?
So
Don't
I
you
guess,
belong back in hell?
yeah, give me a deception roll.
Oh, I didn't think I was deceiving him in any way. He's genuinely like, what the hell are you doing here?
Yeah, no, that's that. I get that part, but it's like the there's a layer in this here that makes it sound like you're on the same side, and you're like, do you want me to take care of this? So
Oh.
all right. So he like at first he looks surprised and looks at Lucca's, mask and his appearance, but Lucca's speaking diabolic, so he snarls, kind of trying to stay out of Ottardo's reach up there, and he goes, They don't let me do my work. Go tell Eurevian that if he wants me to make his weapons, he will have to make sure that I will not be bothered by scum like these. So he apparently thinks that you're a new minion, like you're maybe a new hire.
Revian. Okay.
All right, I believe that's
It's
3.
strange
Here we
onboarding
go.
process.
It's Augrael. They do have a handbook. It's very long and written on
Oh man,
skin.
Augrael's still in the same basic position. Can't really do much from on the ground. He'll stride up under it and then ready an attack in case he comes down to avoid Ottardo.
Okay. Well, what he does is that he hovers in place, his large wings, kind of like pushing a lot of air, so that he can stay up there, and then he starts just tossing hammers and tools from his smith's apron in a 30-foot cone, and he's attacking all 3 of you. He's not attacking Lucca because the deception check worked to the extent that he for now thinks that this must be a new hire. And we'll start with Augrael. So you get hit by a flaming tool for 18 points of damage. Yep.
Ottardo will react here,
Mm-hmm.
which will grant 10 points of separate resistance, which I think negates all of that.
That is just so crazy. Yep, it does. And you poke him for 15. Nonetheless, you also get targeted, and he uses no map for this one. Okay, and then you manage to avoid that, and then one final one gets flung at Soma, which he which he throws a little short, and you luck out there. All right, that takes
Does
him a
the
full
damage
round.
reduction go to both of us, or
What do you mean? No, you
Uh,
took no damage from this. As we've
okay,
learned,
okay.
yeah, as we've learned, the damage reduction applies to all 3 separately. So, and they're all
Got it,
10
got
or
it.
less. So, right, Soma.
Well, and this we are being fancy and all. I think Soma will just point at the flaming hammer that just missed her and say, "Well, you can have it right back."
Oh, wow, yeah. Fling it back. Ooh, with quite some force in there, and you badly injure him. Start action?
There we go. Uh, I think I'll shield myself.
Okay. Ottardo.
So Ottardo, well, not Ottardo. I have something that might be a bit finicky rules-wise. I think Ottardo can attempt to trip him, and I think that would lead to a fall. Let's maybe start with the trip attempt, and we'll see if that even succeeds.
Okay.
Was there a trip action?
Yeah, I think there is
Yes.
a thing about falling creatures tripping.
Okay,
Or
so that's a
flying.
fail, so we don't need to worry about it. And Ottardo will follow up with an attempt to strike. Miss. And for his last action, he will raise his shield.
All right. And then it's Lucca's turn.
I mean, it looks like he's, he's kind of getting. He doesn't look exactly. He looks like he's taking some hits.
Oh, yeah, yeah. He's in bad shape, clearly.
So Lucca is going to switch to common, talk to the others, and be like, "So, like, did this guy do something specific to piss you off, or did you just open a door and start trying to kill him? Because he seems like he's got a lot of information."
Yeah, well, these guys first tried to kill us. Someone will point at the glaived, bearded demon. Wait, he vanished, never mind.
Yeah, Toma maybe points at the pile of ash that was the bearded demon.
Yeah, and then he just joined.
So he just joined in the fighting. Okay. Well, look, he might have some information useful to us, so try not to banish him back to the void. And he will also try to fill them in on the information he just recalled. If all of this conversation takes his full round, that's fine with me.
Okay. Well, and as you talk to your allies like that, I guess your disposition becomes fairly obvious, and you hear the Arrhenius voice in your head telepathically in Draconic, and he just snarls and he says, "You traitorous scum! You're one of them!"
Draconic or diabolic?
Did I say Draconic? I meant diabolic.
Yeah.
He also speaks
that would be a
Draconic.
twist.
But yes.
Okay.
Augrael.
All right. Augrael's. He's just gonna wait again. He's gonna shield and prepare a swing.
Okay. Then it's the Arrhenius' turn, and he flies past all of you and dives down a little bit, just 5 feet above the ground, basically, to get to Lucca and bring down his flaming warhammer, missing, angrily swinging it back and forth before finally hitting some of Lucca's bones for 23 points of damage. And then it's Soma's turn.
Okay, and at this point, I think I don't have my sword, right? Yeah, I have a bow, but I think it's time again to drop the bow, draw the cooperative blade, and try to stab him. So drawing the blade is an action. Then someone will try to inspire courage in everyone again with her very fancy footwork, I suppose, while she tries to stab this guy. with a
You
sword.
could have done a swap instead of.
I've only known like 2 people that are left-handed my whole life.
Okay.
That's right.
This is a right-hander's world.
Shit,
And
Blitz, sorry,
don't
1
forget
second.
it. How about this? How about the number of
Still takes 1 action, but you would still have your short bow. It wouldn't fall to the ground.
Okay. So yeah. Inspire courage. And she strikes.
Really misses. All right, then it is Ottardo's turn.
Well, with the areas lower, well, actually level with Ottardo. Ottardo is going to use his defensive advance to fly straight towards him
Mm-hmm.
while raising his shield and ending up with a strike.
That's a hit. 13 points of damage. Yeah, pretty
And
brutal on
then
him.
and misses with his sword.
Non-lethal!
And to miss. Wait a second, sorry, I keep forgetting that. So in response to the first strike, he quickly casts a spell. And actually, what are you talking about? That is a thing, I guess. Never. Oh, he already did that. Yes, I remember. He already did that last time. So, Lucca, your turn.
I know convincing people to just give up like in the middle of combat isn't really a thing. You need to like persuade them or whatever. But Lucca's still gonna be like, look, in Diabolic, he's like, look, you're not going to survive this. Your grand work is about to be interrupted one way or the other. Do you really want to go back to being Lemur? So why don't you just throw all those tools down and we can have a nice civil chat about this? As he's like picking up his arm that got knocked off, he's putting the bones back.
And you can see him. I mean, they're called Fury for a reason, right?
Yeah.
This guy is furious. He's just like his eyes, which have been glowing the whole time, but now the flames are really just like, billowing out of the eye sockets. His whole body is just tense, and even though you see his skin cracked. There's like big black blotches everywhere that are already turning into ash. But he's just there. You see very little chance that he's gonna take you up on that offer of parlay.
Okay then. In that case, I'm just going to. He's near death. Yeah, well, it probably won't do a tremendous amount, but it might get him. Shoot, but I don't want him. I don't have any non-lethal spells. That's the thing about spells. I'm going to spend an action to assume my to cast Embrace the Pit.
Mm-hmm.
So that I can at least resist a little bit of damage here. And I am going to. So it's one action. I'm assuming talking to him is an action.
Yeah, that was basically an action. Yes.
I'm going to try to hit him non-lethally with my staff.
Okay.
Do I even have an attack set up for that? I do. It's like a -2 or something when you make a non-lethal hit.
Probably.
Is
Let's
that
just
correct?
see where your roll is. If we need to figure that out.
Yeah, it's not gonna be great.
Well, that's not bad, but
It
nonetheless.
looks like it's a miss regardless.
Yep, correct. Augrael.
All right. Lucca's shouting non-lethal when he's
Yep.
attacking. Okay. He will stride up behind him, and with a he goes and swings at him non-lethally. I don't know what the proper adjective there is.
Clambering up on that anvil.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he tried to pierce around the kidneys.
You makes him unconscious.
He's like, I don't know how to stab and not kill.
Oh, sorry. You have another action left.
Yeah, he'll do a second swing.
Oh shit!
Go for it.
So I mean, yeah.
I guess you're just too good at this stuff.
Oh shit!
All right. So yeah, that definitely brings him down.
Oops, did I kill him?
Oh,
I think you might. Yes, there he goes.
I wasn't trying to.
All right. So I'm not entirely sure about the mechanics of this, but let's roll with it. So Augrael, you try to not inflict too much damage, but you can't. Maybe you can't suppress your instincts here, and you see the opening. You strike, and to your surprise, it is much more effective than you wanted it to. And as you bring your middle class bastard in, the around the wound, the flesh already starts to combust and immediately turn into ash and flakes away. And as you pull the blade out, the rest of the Irenaeus, he turns around, looks straight in your eyes with those fiery eyes, and he just mouths something that you don't understand anyway, silently, as he turns into ash and is no more.
Not the kidney. My bad.
Yeah, like I said, he turns into ash mostly. His hammer, his warhammer, his breastplate, and a pendant all clunk, 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 rain down as he disappears from this plane.
So yeah. Oh, sorry, look. I was about to whack him with Phantom Pain, and maybe that would have done it non-lethally, but well.
I see how it is. Actually, I believe anyone. Augrael. Lucca will calmly come over and put his hand on Augrael's shoulder. He says, "You see, you can attack with any weapon in a non-lethal fashion by simply taking a -2 modifier to your attack roll. Then, if you deal enough damage to the enemy to reduce them to 0 hit points, they are knocked out instead of killed. So that's how that works."
Well, for
All
next time.
Great. I'm
Couple of-
glad that we can turn this into a learning opportunity.
So, a couple of things, because Anthony, I don't think you have been caught up on that yet. I'll give you a description of the room in a second, but what is also very obvious to you as you look at your friends, I mean, Souma is kind of even greener than normal in the face, and she looks kind of slightly woozy. But Ottardo is in a bit of a condition. Maybe you've seen the pictures that Karnas shared on the Discord, because Ottardo is currently engulfed in these eerie-looking green flames that just it's like he is completely immolated, but it doesn't seem to hurt him. But they're very, very visible, all over his body, and there's this ghostly greenish hue to those flames, which make them look very unnatural. The room itself, like I said, is clearly some sort of forge. The walls are charred black. There are chains hanging from the 20-foot tall ceiling, and from those chains suspended are shelves holding tools and various metal ingots. The forge that I've already described to you, styled to look like a giant beast. The anvil sitting in front of it, and the west wall has a trough of dirty water that's pushed up against it, and there are weapon ranks flanking the double door to the south that you came in through. Before I forget, it is 65 XP for everyone.
What does that bring the current total to?
It's 65, so I think it's what 240.
One.
Yeah.
241.
You can type in the mountain.
You're breaking up there, Sam.
Sorry. On the XP bar, you can type plus the amount, and it'll do the calculation for you.
That's very neat.
Why not?
Well,
Does
well,
this fragment? Does this fragment look like the like a piece of that puzzle on that door?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
Well, Lucca, so before this, we fought one of those fly devils in the corridor. And it also had-
yes.
Yes, and it also was carrying a pendant.
Mhm.
Oh.
Maybe there is some significance here.
Well, as the Arinyas was saying before you interrupted him with a rapier point, he is creating weapons for someone known as what was that? I missed. I didn't quite catch that. It was
Eurevian.
Eureverin?
Eurevian.
Eureverin. For some Eureverin. So it would not surprise me if this pendant was some sort of key or the method of reaching this Eureverin for its servant.
We should probably give you a tour of what we've seen here, and maybe we can do a little show and tell.
Sure, but before we do that, it seems that the moment I go away, the lot of pieces. I mean, what's happening to you, Ottardo?
Well, I guess we were going to show you the place from afar, but we've faced some strange creature.
Yeah.
Which I think was killed by fire
Yeah, it's
years
like
ago.
like a flaming ghost. Shit, sorry, no. It's. I mean, it's a strange haunting there. Yes, that cursed us, Ottardo.
Yeah, like a trophy room.
Yes.
I don't like hauntings. Well, let's see here. Can I tell what's happening to Ottardo? Like, is this a spell effect? Is this
It's a curse that is too high level. The magic is so legendary that no one could ever solve it.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Well,
Don't even try.
Ottardo, I feel so bad that this has happened to you. I'm so sorry. What about you, Souma? You look a little green around the gills.
I'm about to solve this. I can just use an action to puke it out, right?
Yeah, you can spend a couple of turns retching, and eventually you'll make it.
So
Yep.
yeah, I'll get better. Just you see.
Not into the forge. Not into the forge.
Why not in the forge? There's a fire. It will burn.
It's going to smell awful.
It already smells awful. It's a hell forge.
Do you think it'll break it?
Well, how much worse do you think it'll be when it's a hell forge plus vomit?
Well, it's like you can pile of shit. Fine. She will find like a a place.
Right. Lucca is gonna step a little closer. His diabolic visage is faded because it only lasts for a minute, so he'll step a little closer, put his mask back on, and he'll lean in closer to Ottardo and try to determine if this really is an unbreakable, unsolvable truth.
You
I
can
mean,
give,
does it make
yeah.
you feel funny? Like, or are you just glowing forever now?
I don't feel any different. It is hard to sleep with the light, but otherwise I
like-
feel fine.
Would you say impossible to sleep? Because that sounds like a curse.
No, it's just like, you know, I had to touch like a helmet and stuff it with leather.
Why not? You didn't just want to use a handkerchief as a blindfold? Never mind.
It wasn't enough.
Lucca will try to determine.
Yep, you can give me a religion check for that.
Religion. Does it need to be secret?
Yeah, sure, make it secret. Although, actually, you can, no, you can give me a spirit's lore. That...
Ooh. Well, okay.
We went to Vandy and she couldn't help.
Huh, well, figures.
Yeah, you, recognize it. I don't know why you know that, but, it is called a witch flame. It is a curse, which is, inflicted on you by a so-called witch fire, which is a creature that is, the incorporeal undead form of a powerful hag or witch that died in agony or rage. And that creature then curses its victims with the witch flame curse, which makes you, let me see. Yeah, so it has the effect that you can't be concealed, which, you know, just because of the light. But it also makes you very weak to fire. And yeah, and this is permanent. This is a real curse. It can only be broken through a powerful curse-breaking ritual.
Like, remove curse?
Like
Or
remove
something...
curse, or I think it's break curse.
Let's see.
It's a feat called break curse, which Augrael actually has, and he tried. But he tried once.
Impossible.
And now it's impossible.
But I think there is a spell, or there should be.
There should be, yeah, for sure. Probably a heightened remove affliction or something like that. Remove curse.
Cleanse
Yeah.
affliction.
This is legacy content, though. But you attempt to contract one curse, yeah. So that's a level 4.
It's cleanse affliction at level 4 includes curses.
There you go.
Oh. And Vandy couldn't help you with this?
Well, rank 4 is too high for her. You have outgrown even the powerful NPCs in Otari at this point. Maybe that's the moment you realize that you know the people that you've looked up to for quite some time, maybe, or at least respected for their power, are no match for you.
Yeah. Well, let me ask this. I feel like the answer is probably no, because I think it's a different category. But is this considered a spell effect? Was this placed on him by a spell?
No, it's a curse.
Okay.
Not a spell.
So yeah, Lucca's like, oh yeah, well, that's a real problem. Well, never mind. It seems to be harmless enough for the moment. but we'll have to work on your whole getting a proper night's sleep situation. Um, but
Well, if Lucca does not mention that it makes Ottardo vulnerable to fire, then Ottardo feels just fine.
and he's just fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh well. Yeah. Okay. Well, Lucca is torn. he he's thinking on it for a little bit. He's what else is going on around here? Let's see. Magic? Any magic? Any cool weapons? Any tools? You mentioned some ingots.
Yes. So there are various exotic materials neatly stacked near the anvil. I don't know which one of you would be able to identify those, but eventually you would learn that they are 5 chunks of cold iron.
If it falls under crafting, probably Ottardo.
All right. So here, let me put that here. Yeah, so 5 chunks of cold iron, 2 chunks of silver, and 1 chunk of adamantine.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Quite valuable
These-
stuff.
These are very valuable indeed.
And very heavy.
And
Do you guys think we should break this forge somehow? Like, can we do that?
Well, I was
Well-
about to puke in it, but Lucca didn't let me.
look, I understand your natural distaste for such a thing, but this is a work of significant craftsmanship. Very rare to find something like this on the prime materium. So it seems absurd to break it on what principle? Because you don't like the way it looks. Could be very useful.
You're welcome to try a crafting or religion check if you are curious about the forge.
Oh yes, I am. I will make another religion check, I suppose.
Okay. Yeah, Ottardo Lucca, I mean, this is a forge that obviously a very skilled craftsman has used. But you don't think anything by it. However, Soma and definitely, oh yeah, Augrael, you see more in this. You realize that there was some odd stuff happening. Like you remember how one of the devils, the bearded devils, both of them actually, their weapons, whenever they would pick them up, they would start glowing, and there would be these runes that would show up, making their weapons particularly powerful. Remember how hard it was to cure those wounds that those weapons inflicted. But then when they dropped them, they just looked like very mundane weapons. And the same with the weapons that are piled on the racks here; they all look very mundane. But the same also with the weapon that the Arrhenius was wielding. When they hold them, they are so powerful, and as soon as they let go of them, they hold no more particular special significance. And Augrael, maybe you've heard about that. Maybe you've read a book back in the library a long time ago about what's known as a hell forge. It is not an ordinary forge. It is a place of evil, where evil energies are channeled into the metalworking itself, creating so-called hell-forged weapons. Powerful, powerful stuff. But hell forges are very vulnerable to humble holy water. So just splashing the anvil, which is the kind of like the anchor for this whole place, splashing the anvil with a little bit of holy water should be enough to destroy it. Augrael, I'll give you this because you actually critically succeed. Maybe you read a story, like an old Pathfinder Chronicle or something, where somebody actually did that, and they almost were blown to pieces because as the Hellforged is destroyed, it explodes in sonic and it's a loud explosion with sonic damage and also physical damage as like just splinters of metal fly everywhere.
Ottardo, do you have holy water?
He's checking.
Lucca,
No,
I
not
heard
on
if you
me.
put holy water on the anvil, it makes a super cool weapon for you to use.
Mm-hmm.
Luca puts his
Yeah,
hands on his
he goes, just kidding, just kidding.
Luca puts his hands on his bony hips and he's like, that doesn't sound right.
We can destroy it. This is a Hellforge. We can destroy it with holy water, but if we pour it on it, it'll damage us. I don't know. I mean, does Augrael think we could use it?
No, it would take a skilled, fiendish.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I don't think we could use this. And if they're making weapons to use against us, that seems bad. So
Luca, yeah, I don't think Luca. Not that Luca is skilled with any weapons anyway. But I don't even think he could use it because I'm pretty sure. I'm assuming you need to have like the devil trait or the fiend trait or something to activate it, but he does not actually have that.
Yeah, you don't get it when you transform into the demonic visage, or?
Oh, actually, do I? That's a good point.
It doesn't matter. It takes more than that.
Oh, never mind.
I bet it takes like a good crafter like Ottardo, but Ottardo would not use the diabolic.
Well, here we are, not using the tools provided.
Yeah.
Lucas shakes his head. But honestly, though, I don't have it right now. But if I get a wand, or if I choose to swap out a spell when I level up next, I could make good use of those ingots.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, at this point I think we'll probably have to find out a way to put some silver on the cooperative blade that Souma uses.
Well,
Actually, Souma, if you take one of the chunks, you can use it for. Oh no, maybe you can use it for telekinetic projectile.
just lob a slab of silver at someone.
I like it.
They are light. They're each only
light
one
bulk.
light bulk.
Yeah, and what's let me see telekinetic projectile. What it says?
One bulk or less. Yeah.
Oh.
You could definitely do
Oh,
that.
huh. Well, I think we're cooking, as the internet people say nowadays.
Yes. I might. Like I said, I can't do anything with them at the moment, but perhaps I could make use of them with a little preparation.
Yeah. Well, okay. I will grab one of them.
Yes. Not for myself, but for others.
Ottardo will grab the warhammer. That seems to be the heavy thing here, and it has value. You just carry it until we're back to town to put on the stash. And what about this rope?
Yeah, so he's
Well-
carrying this rope. You've seen him use it, and in his hands it was almost like he was able to move it according to his will. Now it is just a regular rope, but it is created from what looks like hair.
That sounds creepy.
Yeah, it's pretty gross. It's 100 feet long, but it works just like a regular rope, but it's made from Irinia's hair. And
That's a lot of hair.
Mhm.
looking at his artwork, you probably see where it came from.
Right. Well, someone should take that because it probably has resale value, I suppose. As might this +1 flaming striking hellforged glaive.
Yeah, that is no longer. Let me see. Wait,
No
what are we
longer
talking about?
hellforged, or is it no longer
Ah,
flaming or striking either?
I guess it's now just the regular glaive.
No, and let me see. I think it might actually still be. Give me a second. Where's my book? Where's my book? Wrong book. Still wrong book. Where's the... There it is. I have to use the physical book so rarely, it's hard to find. Okay.
Would Souma grab one of Cold Iron Chunks? Or Ottardo grabs the rest?
Okay.
Yes, I took one. And I took one of each of the other chunks too, so I'm holding the adamantine. Unless
Yep, no,
somebody...
it is Hellforged. It keeps that trait. But it also is a +1 flaming and striking weapon.
Huh.
Yeah, so let's take that.
Yeah, I think I think Birke would be very happy to see this.
Yeah.
Flaming, striking, Hellforged glaive, yes, classic.
Yeah, but the weapon, as you like pick it up, it's almost like you hear this faint guttural whisper at the edge of your hearing because they truly exude a palpable menace. And you doubt that any merchant would buy something like this. And you're wondering what it would do to you if you were to wield this weapon for longer periods of time.
Well, Birke can tell us about it.
Yeah, we'll take notes.
So okay, so we'll take that for her potentially. Are we leaving this other stuff on the Arrhenius?
Actually, you know what? Let's not leave anything. I'll cast the disc and we'll put
Okay.
put it on the disc.
Good, because I can only point these things out. I cannot carry them.
Yeah, my carry max.
Although this is only first level disc, so it has 5 bulk capacity.
So he had an amulet. Did somebody take that off of him? 'Cause I don't see it on his sheet.
Augrael did.
Augrael, okay. And Simon, was there anything else in the room that stood out? Lucca would be pinging detect magic and whatnot.
No, that's it.
Okay.
Simon, can you make me a familiar quick? Because the disc is supposed to be like standing somewhere.
Yes. Is there...
Oh, you
What
could
is it
even make
called?
it follow you.
Yes.
Sure. Let's see. That should be a vehicle. That might actually make sense here.
Interesting.
I don't know what the vehicle sheet looks like. Let's try that. So that is called the carry-all platform. Create that. Does it have... Yep, it has an inventory. What size is it?
Nice.
2 feet in diameter.
Yeah, 2 feet in diameter.
It's small.
So it basically covers the square.
Okay. So I'll give you that vehicle. Configure ownership. Carnus is the owner.
Thanks. It's boy.
Seems a little big.
It's like a massive chariot thing. You can adjust the size of the token.
Oh, because a tiny vehicle is still pretty big, I guess. So let's see. Appearance.
Yeah, you uncouple it from its actual size, and when you're looking at the token options, and then you can set it to be like 1 by 1 or 0.5 by 0.5 or whatever.
Yeah, there it is.
There we go.
I'll make it 1 by 1.
So okay, Souma will grab the the glaive, and now I will put it in the inventory of this. Yeah, there it is. It's there. Maybe I can put some other stuff in there. But later. You guys also probably can put everything in there.
Let's see. Yes. Well, okay, now that we got all that out of the way, do you want to give me the tour of the place?
Yes. So in this corridor, there was a Z-bub, you said, along with the mechanical Morlocks.
Yes.
There was a whole bunch of supplies in the cells. I think the Z-bub said something. I don't remember about. What was it?
What?
Didn't the Z-bub say something? Or did I just imagine that? Or maybe he said something, but we couldn't understand because it
Probably
was.
said it in Draconic. I'm sure he had lots
Yeah, I
to
think
say.
he was trying to alert these people.
Or maybe he was trying to say hello and be your friend, but you wouldn't know, would you?
Well, he
No,
did have.
He seems like a d-bag.
He did have a fragment of a pendant too.
Yes. Well, they do tend to be annoying.
Yeah, and there's this.
Didn't the demon say something like, "I'm happy to be rid of that thing"?
Yeah, probably. That was his last words before. No, Ottardo!
Oh, it's like a huge hell door.
Yes, there is a huge hell door.
I love it.
That's what we think that's what these pennants seem to fit into. And we have what, 2 of them?
Yes.
Are there a bunch of like slots in the door?
Yes.
How many?
Give me a second here. Out.
Oh wow, you guys killed a lot of. Look at all that dead stuff over there. That's great.
You weren't here to take a shower afterwards, so.
What? Was there more negative energy?
No, it was the exploding things.
Oh.
Oh, thank you.
Hey. Okay, so the question was what that shape looks like, right?
Yeah, what's up with this door?
Let me see.
Like more currently, how many slots? Since we have 2 pendants.
Yeah, 5. A circular indentation about the size of a human hand with 5 deeper indentations. And it clearly looks like something like an amulet might fit into the indentation.
So we can assume that we need 3 more pendants?
Seems reasonable. Unless there's like one big one that goes in the middle, but maybe that's just where you touch. Lucca briefly considers touching it, but maybe it's better to get the pendants first.
And here we have what we think is that main spiral stairway that we almost never use, I think.
Yes.
In the room up north, there was this whole mass of I don't know if we know their names, but this looked like creatures that were being trained by a bearded devil.
Yeah,
You found the teleporter. That's good.
Yes.
Yeah, and up there's some sort of energy barrier.
And the teleporter is not yet activated, though. Just to say, yeah. Yeah, and there's up here, that's right, the northern wall has a mine shaft elevator, but there's a wall of shimmering orange energy that blocks the passage leading into it.
A mine shaft?
Yep.
The hell? Lucca's like, well,
I don't get this room at all.
I could probably...
In the style of a mine shaft elevator. It's not necessarily used for mining, but it's like a big platform with big ropes and pulleys and stuff like that.
Right. Force field. I might be able to disable this with my dispelling of magic, but I would have to give that some consideration first. Does it look like something I could dispel?
Well, how would you know?
Is it a spell effect or magic item? If it's one of those two, I'm good.
So you inspected for a little while, trying to figure out what it could be.
Yeah, if the
Um,
others are content to wait.
Yeah, I mean you're highly skilled at this point, so I'll say this: it does strike you like a kind of like a wall of force in terms of how it works.
Mm-hmm.
And it's definitely magic of some kind, but it's odd because usually, the way it's hard to describe, and every magic user probably has their own way of articulating it. But usually the magic is confined to a particular area. So, the when a spell is affecting an area, that's where that spell is. But here, this is kind of weird. It's like what you see here with this barrier is not everything that is to this spell. It's like it's connected to something else, somewhere else, and you're pretty sure that without being able to affect wherever that other part of this is, there's no way for you to completely eliminate this
Hmm.
area.
I believe this sort of energy field is being projected from elsewhere. We may have to find the source of it.
Okay. Well, if we go south
Mhm.
and Ottardo, actually the door is closed. Yeah. Ottardo would point out that behind these doors there are like boxes, big
Yeah.
pillars.
Trophies.
Yeah, big pillars made of that translucent stone that we've encountered before. That seem to
Oh
be
yes.
containing, we assume, creatures preserved or something like that. And one of them was that fire spirit that we did not defeat. It's still there. That's ghostly and put this curse on me.
Mhm.
Oh, it's still in there.
Well, yeah.
Well, have
Yeah.
you considered holding it down and beating it bloody until it takes the curse back?
It's a
Well,
ghost.
yes.
We had trouble.
It's not a ghost, it's an apparition.
One of you hasn't gotten yourselves a ghost touch weapon yet? It's a very cheap rune to have inscribed.
We
Yeah, I guess
we
we
look
should
at
go.
Lucca judgingly right now.
Lucca is good. Okay, well, give me a moment. Hold on. Let's see. Um. I needed to double check something. Was it proving difficult to track? Was it invisible or anything like that, or
Oh no,
was
it was quite glowing. The problem was it was intangible, so it hid inside that transparent stone, so we couldn't hit it.
Yes, I understand. Was it like sucking your soul out with every strike, or was it like burning you alive, or what was it? What was it doing exactly? Like, would you call it void damage?
More burning.
Fire damage?
Well, it certainly was on fire.
I don't think it was void either.
Spirit damage? That's another type. I don't really understand what spirit damage is, but it's something else. Okay, never mind. Well, look, maybe once we get some ghost touch weapons, we can come back and deal with this, and then maybe you can implore it to lift this curse from you. Witch fire. Witch fire? Is that what it's called?
Yes.
Yep.
And it's inflicted by a witch fire.
So
Is
no,
it-
the curse is called the Witch Flame, and
Witch
it is
flame.
inflicted by a creature called the Witch Fire.
Okay,
And the
got
Witch
it.
Fire is incorporeal undead that formed when a powerful hag or witch died in agony or rage.
Yeah, we saw those things all the time in Geb. That's right. But
And in here is something where I guess you will prove useful.
Yes.
The
Yeah,
room.
this is where it can really use you.
as if I haven't so far.
The room straight in front of us. We haven't checked it, but there's a warning on the door about something horrible that would happen if we get there.
Yeah.
Why
And
can't I see through it?
Well, there's a small sliding grate at eye level, so and there's a note affixed to it, and it reads, both in common in Sackfroth and in Diabolic, it reads, "Do not disturb if you value your limbs."
Oh well, I don't particularly value these limbs, so I suppose it would be fair. Okay, value your limbs. I mean, if it's anything like that slicey dicey trap up above, it is pretty nasty.
Yeah, that's what we assumed, I think.
I'd be happy to send a servitor through. We could see what happens to them.
I guess we can do that, but just to give you the complete image.
Oh yes.
Up north, we have we found some sort of bone dragon that spoke to us. Something that resembles what you speak with the devils.
Diabolic.
Mhm.
Yes. Of course, we didn't understand it, so it got tired and slammed the door on us. And to the south, I don't remember if we saw something or if there was an invisible
remember
creature.
I don't remember that either.
Wait, was there something or not?
We definitely spoke with.
There's definitely something
well,
to the north.
Yeah, there was a
Yeah.
voice, but we didn't see what it was. I think it implored us to not go anywhere, and it proved to be right, because when we went there, there was that witch fiery thing. So
Well, well, it sounds like whatever that voice was to the south was trying to be helpful, and you really sort of buried the lead on the bone dragon that, apparently is a bit of a conversationalist.
yeah, I mean, listen, it's not a real bones, okay? It's just a thing that looks like it's made of bones.
We tried playing charades, it didn't work.
A thing made of bones, says Luke. Yes, a thing that looks like it's made of bones. That is, if anything, even more interesting to me. I really want to go up there and say hello.
Well,
It didn't seem like
yourself.
it was going to attack us off the, I think you could talk to it.
Although before we go, I should cast some. I do need to heal.
Yeah, Souma actually also will cast some stuff, because she will summon her magical instrument to prepare the assistance to Lucca.
Do we want to like take time to do some healing the long way, or do we want to move this along a little quicker?
I mean, we can take 10 minutes.
Yeah, we can take it 10 minutes. It should be fine.
Okay.
I will patch up Augrael.
Thank you.
Yeah. Why don't you give him 4?
Well,
Okay.
sounds
Let
like
me.
it is.
I'll. Luca will take Augrael aside, and let's do some communal harm together.
Communal harm. Do some communal harm.
Let's see. Where's my activation? Nope. What do you mean no? Oh, because I don't have it in my hand. Let's see. Where is Wand of Harm? It's in my sleeves of storing. Open the sleeves of storing. Equip Wand of Harm. Now I can actually cast it from the wand.
So you spend 10 minutes there.
Yes.
Okay.
Lucca will take the 10 minutes to refocus while Augrael's getting patched up, and then he'll do the harm at the end. So
Okay.
just 9 more points for both of us. And then he's still looking kind of beat up, so I guess I will do another. This one is just going to be a regular spell slot. Wait, did I?
Okay.
Sorry,
So-
I'm trying to get this right. Oh god, 3 more points for both of us. And I'll do another one. Seven more for both of us.
All right. So you cast those spells, and they work as normal. But there's this weird feeling that creeps up on you as the minutes pass. And it feels like it's hard to describe. It somehow feels like you're being you're being drained of your energy, like you were have had some really challenging mental activity going on, even though you're just casting these spells, but somehow it feels like they're taking more out of you than you think, than they should. And then the next moment, you are targeted by a creature that appears at the same time that looks like this: a floating ball of gray ghostly fire with a ghostly visage inside of it. And as it shocks you, or as it casts its sorry yes, as it sends a shock your way. Oops.
Oof.
So. Oh, okay. Did it just crit because it was unseen? Or, I mean,
No,
it's
it
41,
rolled a
right?
natural 20.
Okay. Okay.
So yeah, so it appears out of nowhere. It was completely silent, so there was no chance for anyone to hear it before it gets a chance to shock you with a blast of electricity that catches you completely by surprise. All right, but now that it is visible, we can enter combat. I don't think the disc should be part of this combat, though. We'll roll initiative for everyone. There we go. Then we begin the encounter. Okay, so yeah, it appears as it shocks you, and then it does. What does it do next?
Did you roll us all natural ones?
Did I?
What? I only see
That's
myself in
really
the
funny.
encounter tracker.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll show up as it goes.
Yeah.
Oh.
But yeah, we did all roll natural, or 3 of us did.
Well, we were
Okay.
taken aback.
Yes.
So the next thing that happens is you see that ghostly visage inside those flames start to, well, actually, sorry, it's just so weird. What was that?
Sorry, I'm
Yeah, that's getting really
gi-
annoying.
giving
because
a-
I have to roll for so many dice. They're all over the screen. Okay, so it unleashes that shock of electricity, and then it's actually its turn, and it casts a spell which sends out a blast of fury, essentially, that erupts from somewhere near where that floating carryall platform is, and it washes over all of you. So you all need to roll a fortitude save.
I think you can find the remastered version of this because someone else did the
Oh,
same
yeah,
thing
yeah.
past session.
You're right.
I think.
You're right. Let me swap that out here. Give me a second.
Yeah, I think the blacksmith did the exact thing.
Okay, I have the effects here, so you can roll the saves.
Right. Okay. Oh. Oh no.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Okay. So nice. So this is spirit damage, and here's how that works. So everyone who failed, you take this full damage, and you are sickened 1. So that affects who failed? Lucca is sickened 1, Ottardo is sickened 1, and Souma. And Augrael, you take the full damage, and you are sickened 2 and slowed 1 for as long as you are sickened.
Yikes.
Yeah, so you feel this like divine wrath wash over you, but there's more to it, to this feeling. It's not just the wrath of some unspecified deity washing over you. It's like it's tearing away from your very existence. You feel this like wave of futility, as if your very spiritual essence is being consumed, which maybe especially for Augrael and Lucca, um, is a quite unsettling sensation. Like you've been through death once before, but this is a very different level of just utter annihilation that you're feeling there for a split second. Okay, so that's that. And now, on top of everything, it is becoming invisible,
Oof.
which makes it undetected because it's actually naturally invisible. So it should have been invisible the whole time. It is only briefly becomes visible as its shocking ability. All right, Ottardo, your turn.
I guess Ottardo is just going to move. Oops.
Sorry, I forgot.
Yeah. He is going to move, so that was one move and then a second move up to here, and he will try to blindly strike where the creature was.
Okay. Oh, okay, that's your flat check. Okay. Roll the attack.
I don't have it targeted, but I guess I can just do this.
Okay, and you don't hit anything.
Okay. And that's his turn.
Okay. Augrael.
All right. Augrael is going to swap for the Lantern of Empty Light.
Oops, sorry.
And
Oh,
then he
yeah.
will ready the interact action to, or can he ready that? Can he ready the directing light upon the thing?
It is a 2-action
Oh
activity.
no. Yeah,
You can only ready a 1-action, I think.
Okay. So then he will move here and shield with his last action, but now he at least has it out.
Okay, Lucca.
Okay. Lucca is very, very badly hurt. I suppose the first thing he is going to do is heal himself a lot. So he uses his 2 action casting of harm.
All right.
$58 points of healing,
Nice.
which takes him back up to full. And what is sickened? Sickened. Just a status penalty on all your checks and DCs. Okay. He is going to turn because apparently he wasn't looking behind him. And he's going to say, "You, little spirit, cannot hide from me." And his eye sockets flare with a dull red light. And he, if it's not blocked by anything and it's within 60 feet, he should be able to sense it, because I never mentioned this before. You'd have had no way to know, but he now has soul sight as of level 8.
So what does that give you? Enables you to sense the spirits of creatures, including living creatures, most non-mindless undead, and haunts. As with your hearing and other imprecise senses, you still need to seek to locate an undetected creature. As spirit sense detects spiritual, is not physically detect spirits projected by spells, or possessing otherwise soulless object. Can't detect soulless bodies, constructs, objects, and like what it doesn't penetrate through soulless objects. Okay, all right. So you spend an action to seek.
Do I need to? Like,
Oh,
if it's in plain sight in front of me, do I still need to, like, look for it?
It's imprecise sense. It says spirit sense enables you to sense the spirits, blah blah blah. As with your hearing and other imprecise senses, you still need to seek to locate an undetected creature.
Okay. I will spend my 3rd action to seek then.
Okay. And the DC to
I don't know
detect
why.
each.
For some reason it doesn't do that.
The DC to detect evil. What's the DC of this? The stealth DC, but guess the result of the stealth DCs of any undetected. But that can't. Guess you don't succeed. Oops. Yep. No. You know it must be there, or you think it must be there, but you can't sense it.
All
You
right.
can't pinpoint it.
I will just point out that the rules for imprecise sense do say you can usually sense a creature automatically with an imprecise sense. But it does say, but if it has the hidden condition, instead of the observed. It might be undetected by you if it's using stealth or is in an environment that distorts the senses, such as a noisy room, blah blah blah. But yeah, I would still think that even with an imprecise sense, if it was like in my line of sight and not actually obscured by anything, I should still have the hidden version of knowing where it is. That's just my interpretation.
No, but you're right, because it hadn't moved, so it should actually not be undetected yet. It should just be hidden.
Yeah, that's
So yeah, so that definitely makes it so that you don't need to seek. Okay. Yeah. So you have your last action. And to you it's not even hidden then, I guess.
Well, it's still, because it's imprecise, it should be, it has the hidden condition instead of the, oh wait, that's instead of observed. It says right in the description there. Imprecise and it's all I know is I don't see it clearly. It's not like completely observed to me.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that for well, we can figure this out at some point, but I'm gonna say for now that if it starts moving for you, it wouldn't become undetected. It would just remain hidden, basically.
Okay, that's fine. All right. Third action, I will, for the time being, simply point out where it is.
Okay. Soma, your turn.
Yeah. You know what makes people sickened? Like dealing with invisible will-o-wisps. That's what makes us sickened. So Soma will procure a wand from her purse, and she will use it.
All right.
So she will draw a wand, point it to her temple, and with a flick of a gem button, her eyes will flash with a ghostly pale blue as she gains effect of see the unseen, or otherwise known as see invisibility. And that's one action and two actions. So this thing will now be only concealed for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it actually automatically made it visible. That's it.
What? Okay. Then it's turn. And it sees Ottardo walk towards it. Okay. And it casts yet another spell. Targeting Ottardo. I will need a will save from you.
Ooh, reroll.
Oh.
That's not good.
Okay, so let's see. I guess it really hit a nerve there. So that is the regular. That is the regular damage. So you take 54 points of mental damage. And you are stupefied 1 for 1 round, and you can't cast divine spells for 1 round. Yeah, and the sensation that you're getting. Wait, did it roll the? It's not really doing the right thing. That's okay. The sensation that you're getting is like you feel your faith, wavering. Like you've had those sensations before, those like, that little bit of doubt if you're really doing what Damaric would want you to do. And for a second there, after feeling that, that nihilistic wave of entire non-existence wash over you, it like this follows up in like a 1-2 punch where now it's assaulting your spiritual existence and everything that you think is grounds you in this universe, and it just greatly hurts you in a quite palpable way. All right, and then the thing starts moving, which should make it undetected for some of you. I have no idea if any of this is going to work. So it moves a little here. I don't know who can still see it. Yeah, this is really
Lucca and
odd.
Soma?
Yeah, but the automation doesn't really capture this right, but it doesn't matter. It's Ottardo's turn right now.
Ottardo can't cast spells this turn, so I think he will attempt to retch.
Mm-hmm. Go for it.
Fails. He's gonna try again. Fails, and he's gonna finish up by raising his shield.
Okay, Augrael.
Okay, I think Augrael's just gonna ready the interact action for the lamp now. If it, shows itself at all, if it attacks, he'll shine it on it.
But isn't that 2 actions?
Oh, I'm sorry. You said, yeah, my bad.
I mean, you can wait for Lucca to point out where it is. 'cause
Yes,
you
I
just
think
need
that's
to-
what I'll do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Delay your
yeah.
whole turn, yeah.
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 Good call.
Right, I think the carousel doesn't let me delay, so I'm just gonna move you after Lucca. And then it's Lucca's turn.
So I can't see anything right now, but I
yeah,
believe
you would see it right here.
by my understanding of the rules, it should be hidden to me,
Yeah.
not... Yeah, okay.
It's just like I
Alright.
can't have it in different states for different people.
Yeah, got it. That's fair. So the first thing Lucca will do is, well, he was gonna reorganize, but since Augrael's waiting on him, I'll point out as my first action,
Mm-hmm.
and then I will cast a spell that hopefully makes me not have to keep pointing things out.
Mm.
We're gonna do Revealing Light.
Ooh, very cool.
Oh. A wave of magic light washes over there. So what does the light look like?
It's red. Of course.
It's very
like,
undivine.
like the like the distant burning fires of hell. It has a dull glow, like a forest fire on the horizon, like a city being razed.
Wow. That's quite the image. All right, so it washes over the creature, and it, yeah, like the spell says, it is, outlined by, or revealed by this light, and has
Okay.
this red glow to it.
All right, well, that was my whole turn.
that was
But
your
I have
turn,
pointed
okay.
it out at least, so.
Okay, and here's Augrael shining the light on it. Now you're going with the activate interact. Yes, okay. You direct the lantern's light upon a single living creature within 60 feet. That creature must attempt a DC. Okay, let's see the will save. It succeeds. Creature is unaffected, but thinks the light was harmless unless it knows the true nature of the lantern already.
Oh, is this? I thought will-o-wisps were undead.
It's
They
not
are
undead.
aberrations.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's not.
that's right. Damn
But we
it.
don't know what this is. This could be undead
True,
for all
true.
we know.
Good point. Good point.
Yeah, yeah. But it doesn't seem to have an effect on it. You have
Okay.
a third action. No, you don't. You don't. You
yeah,
don't.
yeah.
You sword. Yep. Okay, Soma.
Okay, I think it since I don't have to point it out anymore. I will start inspiring defense in everyone, and then I will try to help Sir Ottardo morally. I will cast Soothe on him, since it soothes not only body but also the mind, which he thoroughly needs right now. Which spell should I do? Let's cast a third level. Something like this.
Thank you.
Okay, and that's your turn. Okay, the creature, aware that it's outlined, but it doesn't really seem to mind that much, and it seems to be fascinated and delighted by Ottardo's suffering, and it follows up with yet another spell targeted at him, casting Chilling Darkness, and it hits him and rolls the damage, which in this case is only 11 points.
Of cold damage, right?
Yes. 11 points of cold damage. There you go. Okay, so that was 2 actions. That wasn't really that great, but it does what it can. Let's see if it has a third action, because moving doesn't really make a big difference. It is just going to follow up with another shock of electricity, striking Ottardo, discharging into his metal armor for 18 points of electricity damage. And then it's Ottardo's turn.
Okay, now that one round has passed, he is no longer stupefied, and he can go back to casting his divine spells. So he will take one action to cast lay hands on himself.
Mm-hmm.
And then he will charge the creature with his defensive advance and miss it.
Okay, Lucca.
Yeah, Lucca sees that he's managed to pin this thing down, and it's, I guess, still concealed to him. That's so wonky on this.
Yeah, I mean, concealed is better than hidden, so
Right. It went from hidden to concealed.
yeah.
Is this enough for him to actually like see what it is and identify it?
Yes, I will say that's enough. So you can give me an occultism
All right.
or an aberration lore.
Okay. The first thing I'll do is try to retch.
Okay.
A little dignified retching. What do I roll again?
Dignified.
Fortitude save?
It's a flat check, I think. DC.
Oh, it's just a flat check.
I think.
No, it's you can spend a single action retching.
you
Immediately
just have
take
to
a fortitude
reroll.
save against the DC of the effect that made you sickened.
Oh.
So it is a fort save.
Yes.
That's not gonna cut it.
Nope. It's not.
One second.
Gotta stick your finger down further.
That looks better. Let's see.
I don't even have an esophagus.
What's the effect? Oh, it was this one.
I don't think it's gonna. I don't think that beats
Nope.
it either.
Nope, it does. It does not.
Yep. Okay. Hang on. He's gonna still kneeling or leaning on his knees, but he's gonna look up at this thing and try to identify it.
Okay. Yeah.
Perhaps aberration lore
Sounds good.
or spirits.
Nope. Just aberration would be.
Aberration. Oh, sorry, should have been hidden.
Yeah, but that's just enough. And you identify it as a will-o-wisp, which is obviously a powerful creature in its own right, but the spell casting ability that it has shown here makes it special among will-o-wisps. So it's clearly more powerful than that, and as such, you don't really know how much you can extrapolate to based on your knowledge of regular will-o-wisps. But with that roll, I'll say you can basically look at a regular will-o-wisp bestiary entry, and those stats might be higher for this one, but it'll get you in the right direction.
Okay. Can I ask any questions?
Sure, you can give me one question.
Okay. So it's casting spells, but any special abilities that it has?
Yeah, well, that's the thing where you don't know, because it's already shown that it is more special than regular will-o-wisp, so you
Okay.
don't know exactly what it could do. But if it behaves like a regular will-o-wisp, it would feed on your fear.
Right. Okay. Don't show it fear, and also apparently don't have a crisis of faith in front of it, because it really likes that. But that's all I got. It's a wisp.
Augrael.
I'm a nihilist. Augrael, okay, so it has an outline. Does that mean I could potentially like go and strike it, or
Yeah, it's just
Yes.
concealed
Am I
right now.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Augrael's gonna do. Yeah, he's gonna do a recall knowledge, just to. Well, both gather knowledge and because he hasn't seen this thing before, and hopefully get some sneak attack on this thing.
Mhm.
Did you say cultism?
Yep. Yeah, you have no idea. You've never seen a will-o-wisp
All
do
right.
things like that, so you
All
trust
right.
but
I will trust him, and I will go stride and strike it. With my last action.
okay. Let's see that flat check.
All right.
Nice. All right, so you actually managed to hit it. Roll the damage.
Okay.
And you do 6
Unfortunate.
points of damage to it. Yeah, which you feel a little bit of resistance as you drive the rapier in. Do you have a
That's
third action?
Augrael's turn.
No, that's it. You moved, recall. Yep. Okay. Soma.
Okay, I think I will spend all 3 of my actions to try to make a sure hit spell. So I will try to cast Magic Missile on it, which I believe still requires me making a flat check to target it with a spell, right?
You creatures you can when targeting with an attack, spell, or other effect, yes.
No, fingers crossed.
All
There
right.
we go.
Nice.
Yeah, and I'm gonna cast it from third rank spell slot, so it would be 6 missiles.
Okay. Shoo, 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 shoo. They just come shooting out.
1, 2, 3, pop out, 4, 5, 6. There we go.
Okay. All right. So let me take that damage. Damage. It jumps to the bottom of the chat every time. It's really annoying.
Mhm.
Damage. 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 That is 6 instances. All right. Yeah. So that hail of magic missiles rains down on it, and it does seem to injure it. So on its turn, you can see it. I mean, it is effortlessly flying, and it moves over here, and then you can see its ghostly eyes close, and it feeds, or it's well, it does feel like it's feeding because you can see it kind of like twitch and almost look like it's meditating in a way. Lucca, give me a will save.
Hey, stop that.
27, that's a fail. So Lucca, it feels like it's tapping into your magical connection and it's feeding on your magic. You fail, which means you feel you feel like it's diminishing that connection to the power of magic somehow. Quite unsettling experience. And then to add insult to injury, it blasts you with a shock of electricity.
Hold on, just
What?
1 second.
Yep.
So I realized in the spell it says that the creature is dazzled while it is affected by the light, revealing light.
Yeah, it's got the dazzled condition.
Okay.
Well, dazzled means that everything is concealed from you.
Okay, so there
Oh.
is a flat check that needs to make. Okay, succeeds with the first one. Let's see the second one. Okay, it made both of them.
Good catch, though. Good catch.
Yeah, absolutely. So, but then it blasts you with a shock of electricity, critically hitting for 30 points of
And
electricity damage.
That's
At
only
this
a
point-
critical because of the stupid sickened condition. Ugh.
At this point, Ottardo will use his reaction, granting
Mhm.
Lucca 10 points of resistance, and attempting to strike the creature. I think that's okay for the flat check.
Flat check works, yep.
And
But you
missing.
missed it. Yeah, but then it's your turn.
Well, he will attempt to strike it again. It's just concealed, so that's
Yep,
fine,
that
right?
would work. Let's see the attack roll. That's a hit. Hey, you swing your weapon at it, and you actually land quite a powerful strike.
He will attempt that again.
That's a success on the flat. It's a miss on the
Crit
attack.
misses. And he would raise his shield for his last action.
Okay, Lucca, your turn.
Okay. Simon, tell me if this is too gamey. I just have a question because you said I could look at the wisp stat block, right? And
Yep.
kind of extrapolate from there.
Yep.
So just a basic will-o-wisp, right?
That's what you would
I'm
look
looking
at.
at.
Yeah.
They have a feature which I. Oh, is that magic missile? Okay. I'm not. I'm trying to recall because we fought wisps before, and I don't remember how it went down exactly. But they have magical immunity, which is a feature that a lot of it would negate almost all of Lucca's spellcasting.
Yeah, I know we've been through that before. I guess we were then.
We have. Okay, I hadn't recalled. It's fine if it has it. I wasn't sure. Like I couldn't remember if the wisps we encountered before also had that or not.
They did, and
They
the
did,
magic
okay.
missile, but there's a handful of spells explicitly
Right.
excluded, and
Explicitly including magic missile, yeah.
Yeah.
And revealing light. Funny enough.
Yeah.
Which is pretty much the only thing that can make a party capable of fighting them.
Yeah.
All right. So that means that so it's immune to magic. So even things that don't target it directly, it would still be immune to. Is that right?
That's how I would understand that. Yeah, magic just doesn't affect it.
I would imagine the only exception would be where you use magic to make something happen, and then the something does damage. Like if you could use magic to move a boulder and the boulder falls on it.
Right.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. God, I had forgotten that they were capable of doing that. I guess it's a good thing I have magic missile wands as well on me. All right. So I will spend an action to pull out Wand of Magic Missile, 2nd level. And well, I guess I want to maximize what I get out of it, so I won't actually cast it yet. But since this thing seems to be really happy dealing me damage, I'm gonna also embrace the pit. And that's 2 actions. And I guess for my last one, I'll try to frighten it.
Hang on, Embrace the Pit is a spell, correct?
It's a spell that I cast on myself. Does it bypass magic that I have?
No, but I'm gonna need you to roll this check because, as I said, it felt like it was disrupting. Yeah, it was disrupting your connection to your magic.
Oh my god, are you kidding me? All
right. And you fail to embrace the pit.
What the? Martha! He starts stamping his heel on the floor, looking down.
No, Lucca gonna have a crisis of faith.
Okay, but that means so I failed to cast it. I assume I still expended the focus point.
Yeah, it's disrupted, so you spend your resources, but it doesn't have an effect.
It's like, damn it, Rafa! And then he starts. He starts.
Going great.
This is not a. I don't think that's a success.
Not enough. Augrael.
Yeah, Augrael just looks at Lucca like, "What the hell are you doing?" And he'll step, and he's still swinging, but he's just gonna swing on this thing. He doesn't think he has a better option here. That's
a miss.
Oof, brutal. Hmm.
That's it. I think you moved and
Yeah.
attacked, and you're still slowed.
Oh, that's right. Yep.
Soma.
Okay. Guy, I hope that Lucca and Sir Ottardo will survive this round because I want to, first of all, make a lingering inspired defense. Or maybe, actually, maybe we should try. If I don't think we can finish it off in one turn, right?
Seems unlikely.
Yeah. However, okay, let's test my new spell. I will use the Inspire Heroics / Fortissimo Composition to cast Inspire Defense. So it would, if I get a good success, it would be +2 to all bonuses. Performance. 27, that's success.
The highest will DC of the composition's targets.
Oh, right.
Which,
So guys, who of you
Ottardo's
have?
is 21.
Yeah. Well,
What?
that's still just a success.
I think the 24 is the highest will DC of the party, so. But why would you? I don't know. It's weird.
It's strange. Yes, I know.
Okay. But it is a regular success then. And the
Mhm.
status bonus from your composition increases to +2. Okay. Nice.
Yeah, that's one action, and for the next one, I will just try to hit it with a telekinetic projectile.
Okay.
Wait.
Start with a concealment check here.
Yes.
Success. Target it.
Mm-hmm. There we go.
Ooh.
Nice.
Ooh.
Look at that. Let's see that damage.
Okay.
That is doubled or is that regular?
I think it's not doubled, it's just 5d6.
Yeah. So she takes double of that. And wow, okay, that's quite powerful. And you see her I mean her face the whole time has been pretty apathetic to what's going on. It's not like it's actually like even acknowledging your presence. It's always kind of like looking straight through you, looking in a weird angle, just up in the distance. It's kind of odd to interact with it. And what is it doing? It's going to cast a spell on itself, and it's going to try to counteract the magic of the revealing light. So let's see. 39 is enough, I'm sure, to counteract that. So it is now becoming invisible again, which would make it hidden, but then it has a move action, so it's going to move and become undetected to most of you. And it has quite the speed. So, yeah, Lucca and Soma, the two of you can see it retreat, basically. It flies around Ottardo and Augrael and then takes a sharp left turn down the hallway to the south, and it appears to retreat. Ottardo.
I think Ottardo will attempt to seek.
Okay. Yeah, you look around and you seek, but you don't see it anywhere.
Oh, okay. I guess with his remaining 2 actions, he would ready an attack in case it shows back up.
Okay, Lucca.
Okay, 5, 10. first thing he's gonna do is move,
Yep. And,
and
you
then
see
if
it.
it's within 60 feet, it should be there but hidden.
Yeah. So you see it's like vaguely obscured, or you sense its presence at the southern end of the hallway.
Okay. It's not the ideal casting, but I will still try to pop off 2 magic missiles at it.
Okay. So it's still hidden, which I guess makes it so you need to roll a.
For magic missile, it's not an attack.
But for targeting. That's the first step of casting a spell is targeting,
Okay.
and you aim that. And you fail to target it.
I know where it is, but I can't target it. It's down that way.
Augrael.
Okay. Does that count as pointing out?
Did I use the spell then? Did I use the wand?
No, I would say because you fail to target it, so you don't even cast it, I would say.
So do I have any actions left?
Oh, because it would be 2 actions to cast it.
Yeah.
Let me see. I think it takes your full 2 actions to do it, regardless. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that. I'll have to look that up, but that's what I'm
Okay.
gonna go with for now. Augrael.
Okay. So he didn't point him out, right?
Not technically. I just said it's down that way and I can't target it, but I can see it, but I can't see it.
I'll at least stride down that way and ready a strike if it comes within range.
You only have 1 action left.
Oh, that's right. I'm slowed. I'll retch. He'll
Always
run and then try and throw up.
Yep. All right. See that. Fortitude save.
Yep. 1 second. Fortitude save. There we go.
No,
Yeah, that's not gonna work.
yeah, you can't shake it off. All right, Souma.
Okay. Soma, seeing how this thing darts away, she yells like, "Oh no no no!" and clicks one of her bracelets, like the mithril bracelet and the magic bracelets together, activating the bracelet of dashing with 1 action.
Mm-hmm.
And she dashes right after it. So now, with this, now my speed is 35, I believe. Yes, 35. And I can run right here. I actually don't see it.
Nope.
Okay, I guess I will have to just continue running then. And unfortunately, there is nothing I can do aside from also popping 1 magic missile later. So, let's just run past Augrael. Ah, there it is.
There it is. And then it's its turn.
No, wait. Wait. Oh, sorry, right. It is both actions.
It is
Sorry.
its turn. Yep. And it shoots a shock of electricity at Soma, missing you, however. And then opens the door and flies right through. Let me check its speed.
Oh,
and
shit.
it flies.
Oh no, it's going in that door. Close the door. Close the door.
And that's its turn. And then it's Ottardo.
Ottardo Ottardo is going to stride over to see what's happening. Does he see which door? Oh, okay, he does
Yeah,
see one door. Okay, that's the bad door.
Hmm.
Well, I think we should retreat. The stairway just here. And he will start making his way over there.
Leading the retreat. Up the stairwell. Okay. Lucca.
Just starts going upstairs. Lucca is highly disgruntled, but will follow along, I suppose. Up the stairs.
Okay, Augrael.
Yeah, Augrael.
He's gonna. He'll take an action to retch though along the way.
Like, Soma, I think I think we're going. And he will follow them.
Okay.
He will
Soma?
retch as well, I guess.
Okay,
with one
so,
range.
Gotcha.
yeah. Well, in this case, Soma will say, like, you go, I'll cover you. And she will go last.
All right.
I say, yeah, say she will go last.
Okay, then we can end the tracking here because you don't see the thing again as you make your way up the stairs. You have to go slow with the Augrael trailing behind, everybody constantly being like as you make your way up the staircase, everybody ratching the whole time. And it takes quite some time for you all to shake this off, but eventually you manage to succeed. But there is still the lingering terror that you've felt, fighting this thing from its spellcasting ability. It's the shock of electricity that it was able to send through your bodies. It was just such a powerful creature, and at the same time, in its demeanor, so apathetic to your very existence, as if it didn't even really acknowledge your being. It was just, sapping into your magic, doing harm to you with no acknowledgement of your very existence. Quite the unsettling experience. And we can end the session for now, but I would assume that you might have some planning to do, because I have a feeling you might want to prepare for facing this thing again.
Well, apparently we will have to get some of those ghost touch runes.
Yeah.
That's what I was gonna say. Like, maybe we can go through figuring out, the equipment that you need and stuff like that, and then we don't have to do that next session. But I'm gonna take a quick break, and I'll be right back.
That thing was a huge bee.
Yes.
Yep.
In her bonnet.
Yes.
Are
Wow.
there some glasses that let me see invisible or something?
I mean, you can get a wand of see invisibility. Like, I apparently did not understand how soul sight works. It's weird. It just gives me the hidden, the ability to see a creature but have it be hidden. And technically, I was reading up on it. You can't target things that are hidden from you. It's entirely. It does say at the GM's discretion, a player can attempt it, but like, yeah. So I can't even target a thing that I'm only sensing with soul sight. So, so it means that I basically have to nail it with the revealing light spell first before I can do anything to it, and that's all I can do because all I do is cast spells and it doesn't care about any of them.
Oh yeah.
I can't even empower anyone else with like additional damage or something because it'll just ignore that too. So I literally don't know what Lucca can do about this creature. I think it's just
I'm not so sure about that part.
Which part?
Well, I guess it's something for Simon to rule on, but I think like spells that don't target directly the wisp
I mean,
can still
so
affect it.
the normal wisp block, which I was given permission to look at, is very explicit. It says it is immune to anything with the magic trait. It says that a will-o-wisp is immune to all spells except for force, barrage, quandary, and revealing light. I I I feel like technically the telekinetic uh
Projectile.
projectile it should, I think, technically also be immune to that because that
Oh.
has the magic trait and it's a spell. So
Oh yeah.
I don't even know, like, it's such a broad overreaching thing that, like, do runes even affect it? Like, is a +1 weapon I mean, I guess if that was the case, then Ghost Touch would be
Well, I
affected.
mean, I don't know. Like the stat block I'm looking at, it says that it's immune to all spells, so it's not like everything with a magic trait. So
But
it's
then it
prob-
has under immunities, it just says magic. So
Uh,
I don't know what is included in that.
I don't know. Maybe, I'm inclined to say that this is what is clarified by magic immunity below.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, which would make it spells, but
Yeah.
not other magical effects. So if I guess it would still be a spell effect if I like cast a thing on a sword to make it flaming, like it should be immune to the flaming damage, right?
No, that is it's definitely immune against the spells. Like the effects of runes and stuff should still apply.
Okay. So all right, I'll have to think on that a little bit, but basically we just need to get the marshals in to
Yeah.
beat the crap out of it because there's like nothing else. It doesn't even have it doesn't have you don't actually need ghost touch for this one. It takes
Thankfully.
full damage from these. The ghosts, yes, we need
I just
ghost
need to be able
touch,
to
but
see it. Yeah.
you just need to well, if I can hit it, I need to hit it with revealing light and then you guys should be fine. I mean, they are still
Right,
concealed.
right. But at least it's not. Yeah.
Even see invisibility it'll still be concealed with see invisibility. So
Mhm.
I don't know if there's any way to make it truly like 100% visible without like a true sight type effect. But
Yeah.
Yeah, because
I mean, but it is.
they're naturally invisible. So I don't even know really what that means.
Yeah,
it's not under a spell effect,
yeah,
is what it means.
what about the good old trick of throwing powdered chalk on it? I mean, it's not completely intangible, right? And I'm actually serious because Soma does have chalk in her inventory, and I actually will get to look it up, I think.
I mean, yeah, I guess that would make it. Which one is better, hidden or concealed? Hidden has the higher
Concealed.
miss chance, right?
Yeah, concealed.
Yeah, so I guess it would make it could potentially make it hidden.
I mean, but by this point, Pathfinder 2 has to have some kind of action to do that.
Let me ask you this, Simon,
Hmm.
regarding soul sight and how you interpret it. So next time, if I am standing in a large open space and this thing comes within 60 feet, would Lucca automatically detect it with the hidden condition? Or is it going to be like stealthing up on me and I won't know it's there until like I decide to seek for it or something?
Yeah, let me see. So
Because the hidden condition means
it
I know
basically
what square it's in
right.
normally.
It basically so what it does is it's essentially, and I'm not stating that, I'm thinking out loud here. I'm trying to
Okay.
understand it myself. Um, so it basically what first of all, what is it? It's a feat that you have, or where is that coming from?
It's a feat. It's a sorcerer feat.
Okay, so feats, and then where is it?
Level 8.
Soul sight. Okay. Okay, so it basically gives you an imprecise sense that doesn't rely on sight or on smell or on anything else. It's just an imprecise sense with a range of 60 feet for living things or things with a spiritual essence. Right? We agree on that
Yeah.
part?
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay. So that means it should be governed like any other imprecise sense. So average hearing, blah, blah, blah. Imprecise senses is that. There we go. Average hearing is an imprecise sense. Oh, this is the player facing rules. I would like to have the full rules. I have my books downstairs, but isn't there also something in the GM about imprecise sense? That's kind of annoying about the way that this stuff is laid out, that you get like half the information sometimes
Mhm.
in one book and then more information in another. So now I have to make sure that we're not missing anything. But no, it seems like that's really all of it. So they're using hearing as an example.
Right.
It says you can usually sense a creature automatically with an imprecise sense, but it has the hidden condition instead of the observed condition. It might be undetected by you if it's using stealth or is an environment that distorts the sense, such as a noisy room in the case of hearing. In those cases, you have to use the seek basic action to detect the creature at best. Okay. So I guess the question becomes, how could a living soulful creature potentially hide its spirit or its soul, the presence of its soul from you? Um, I would have to think about that. I don't know if there's any. I don't think there is any mundane way to do it. I don't think we should make it as
Right.
simple as just saying, "Oh, you can use stealth," right? Because
Right. Because
stealth
I mean,
stealth means, yeah, you're hiding from hearing, you're hiding from sight.
Yeah, this is
Um,
the part where 5th edition D&D will say you roll wisdom plus stealth.
yeah, something like that.
yeah. Maybe something like, if it was, I don't know. Maybe I would let a creature take or use stealth if there was like a large, a strong source of what
Spirit
is it now
energy.
called? Vitality energy or
Yeah.
something like that. Where
Well,
there's
I
a
could see
huge,
it like in a room with a haunt, right? Something where there might be
yeah.
like a lot of natural spiritual energy just
Yeah.
all over the place. I could totally see that.
Or just the presence of a lot of souls. Like,
Right, yeah, or just
there's a
a
crowd
room
of
crowded
people.
with spirits would
Yeah.
be
Yeah,
yeah, and the
or
thing is
people. Anything with a soul, right?
right, it's
So
literally anything with a soul. It can be living, it can be dead, it can be whatever. It could be souls trapped in containers, whatever. So even just
yeah.
a room with 100 living creatures in it, spirit sense would become, a lot less useful because I'm seeing all of their spirits. So
Exactly, yeah, and
yeah,
it's not like it wouldn't cause any alarm to you, or you wouldn't be able to like, oh, one of those 100 spirits just moved. Like that just
right.
doesn't really check out. So I guess in those circumstances, I would say, like it says here,
It
an
can stealth.
environment that distorts the sense. I think that's
Right.
the operative phrase. How that plays out, I don't know, but the way that like this situation was, you would definitely, even when it's invisible, you would notice it creeping up on you. You would feel
Yeah.
another spirit or another spiritual presence.
And that's
Um,
just I hadn't said anything about that ability yet, so I was fine with the fact that it crept up me because it's like if you
right,
wouldn't.
I
There's
realize
no way to
that.
know that I can do that. So, but yeah, like okay, so and I did look up and clarify. It does say it's at GM discretion, so it's somewhat situational, up to you. But I definitely cannot target hidden creatures under normal circumstances with
Not
spells.
at all, not even with the mischance.
Not even with a mischance. It says you can't target them unless you can see them, and it says that you can't target hidden creatures, and then it says the GM may make exceptions for whatever. So
I mean, I think the exceptions that I would make is kind of like, how specific do you need to be able to target it?
right,
Um, if you're trying to shoot a fireball at it, like, I don't
right. Well,
see
that
why
doesn't
you.
target the creature anyway. But
Oh,
I take
does
your
it not?
yeah. It's an area,
Hmm.
right? Area of effect spell shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah.
But
Right. Yeah, that
but yeah,
definitely wouldn't be a problem.
the magic missile would be a problem because I have to target it specifically.
Yeah, but Magic Missile is kind of on the edge there because it's famously, you know, unerring.
automatically.
Yeah, you only need to get like a tiny little bit of it, but I guess you do need that tiny little bit of it.
Well, that's
Um,
but I think that's where the room for your interpretation
Oh,
comes
there you go. I found it. I'll drop
Oh,
it in the chat. It is called just bag of powder.
This is just powder.
There you go.
This is
It contains powdered chalk, flour, or similar materials. In addition to other uses for powder, it can be handy or help pinpoint invisible. You can throw the powder into adjacent squares and interact. If there's a creature, it becomes temporarily observed until the end of your turn, though it still has concealment. Powder quickly falls away or becomes invisible itself, preventing you from tracking the creature indefinitely. All right, yeah, I can live with that ruling. I mean, I don't necessarily think you need to spend a silver piece to get that.
go to
It-
the local flour mill.
But I think it's that seems like a reasonable way to handle that, including the range. Like it has to be adjacent because you can't really throw a handful of flour very far. No, that makes sense. All right, but there was one last thing here. Okay, right. So seeking, seeking. Well, yeah, who's going to just trying to spot a creature hiding in a small area. No, this is now the GM rules. That's exactly what I was talking about. So there's the seek action. Any undetected or hidden, and then hidden would become a creature you detect might remain hidden rather than becoming observed if you're using an imprecise sense or if an effect such as invisibility prevents the subject from being observed. Okay, so you could. Any hidden creature becomes observed, but if you're using your imprecise sense of the life or of the soul sight, that cannot improve it beyond hidden, right?
From what I understand, yeah, it just lets you know what square they're in, and they are hidden.
Okay.
It's the same as seeing, but rather than seeing, making them observed, imprecise whatever it is, hearing or whatever, just makes them hidden.
Yeah. I mean, I think then let's go with the more stricter interpretation. So a creature that's hidden, if the spell explicitly targets a creature, a hidden creature cannot be targeted. Those are
Yeah.
just the rules as written. If it's a particular situation where it feels like there should be an exception possible, I'm happy to look at that, but
Okay.
baseline,
I'm
yeah,
100% fine with that.
yeah.
You would just think that considering this is a feat that they give to a spellcasting class, it would let you then target the thing with spells that you can see.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
but whatever. Maybe they
feel
think that's too powerful. I don't know. But okay. So how do we kill this wisp? Don't rely on Lucca for anything besides revealing light, because that's all he's pretty much going to be good for.
I suppose the same thing, the same way they killed my druid raven, like just trip it, entangle it, and kick it until it dies.
Yeah.
It's true that this thing is not incorporeal, so there's a chance that
Yeah, it's not.
maybe Ottardo could like grab it.
Yeah, I think that's
Ooh,
the way.
yeah. You
I mean,
guys just
Ottardo is just gonna kill it. We're good.
you guys just need to land a couple of good hits on it. I don't know if there's any way to eliminate the concealed condition. That's the only thing I can think of that would make fighting this better, because we can't really do anything about its spell casting, as far as I know. Yeah, we just is there some way to eliminate the concealed condition? I don't
I
know.
mean,
of anything.
at this point, if see invisibility doesn't do it, I mean, I don't even know what will do it.
Right.
Yeah, I think Ottardo and I just need to hit it a couple times.
But there might be like there there might be player abilities that allow you to ignore the mischance from concealed, like kind of blind fighting style stuff. So I don't know if there's anything like that we might be able to get our hands on.
Yeah, when we played Return of the Runelords, I actually made my Blood Rager Dragon Disciple like go full into blind fighting, because they kept using the blur and the mirror image, so it was easier to just close eyes and swing blindly than trying to hit them.
You don't need.
I mean, you were asking
Oh,
about the
well-
spell casting. I mean, it still has to do. It's still regular spell casting. So if there's, if it has a component, how do those work now in the remaster? Is it still the same?
So it's not components anymore, but all spells require
Right.
speech and what used to be not manipulate, but somatic.
Yeah.
So just to be able to move in some way.
And all of them require speech, you say?
Yes, unless the spell specifies that you don't need speech,
Yeah. So I guess.
or you have an ability or something like that.
Right.
So
I guess
grab a
silence
hold of
spell-
it. Grab a hold of it and wrap, gag it.
Well, yeah, pretty much.
I think just grab a hold of it imposes a flat check to avoid losing the spell because the movements are restricted, I think.
Well, it would be grab. The condition, right? So grabbed says you immediately and manipulate action while grabbed is a DC 5 flat check.
Yeah.
Which and the spells have the manipulate trait, so they are manipulate actions. Yeah, but the silence would definitely work. The spell.
You can't. It's immune.
Of
Immune
course.
to spells.
Yep, you're right.
Or immune to magic. So it says.
Well, it is actually immune to spells. It is called magic immunity, but then the ability says it is immune to all spells except
Okay.
X, Y, and Z.
Well, silence still be a spell, but
Yes, yep, definitely does not affect it.
unless there's something that is there like an alchemical item that isn't magic but would still get a similar effect?
Yeah, we should take a trip to Numeria, get some of the technology.
Yeah, because alchemical stuff lets you get a whole bunch of weird effects, and none of them are technically magical. It's really the only thing I can think of that might prove useful.
That's true. We could lob bombs at it. actually have.
How do we beat this creature? We just stand back and throw bombs at it.
I think we even have a few that we found recently.
Someone's pretty loaded with them right now. It's just you guys all be in the way if I'm gonna throw it.
Standing back and throwing bombs is good against most things.
It's but it's a dishonorable goblin way of fighting, so somebody's fighting.
Although you do make a very good point about keeping the thing grappled, though, because it'll stop it from getting right up on top of the casters and then using whatever ability it has to negate all spell casting. Because at least I can do things like heal you guys while the fight is going on. Assuming this thing doesn't just roll up and stop my spells. And the other thing is it just stops it from flying away whenever it feels like it. So immobilizing it would definitely be a good idea.
Okay.
Or blinding it in some way. Because if it can't see me or you or anyone else, then it can't target us with spells either.
That's true.
Does that mean could I cast
yeah.
darkness?
Well, if it, I
Not that-
mean, if darkness works, then silence should work as well. It's still like emanates from an object,
thing.
right?
I guess it is. Yeah. I guess it would still be immune to it because it's still a spell effect.
Okay, so with concealed, it says you can still be observed, and it's observed what you need to be targeted by a spell. A creature that you're concealed from. Wait, a creature that you're concealed from must succeed at a DC 5 flat check when targeting you with an attack spell or other effect. Right. Oh, right. That's what Sam reminded me to do. Yeah. So
Yeah.
you already had a little bit of that. But DC 5 is obviously not that great. All right. I'm gonna jump off. You're welcome to continue to strategize, or we can continue to do that asynchronously through Discord.
Mhm.
All fine by me.